UFC 305, Du Plessis vs Adesanya, underdog of the card. We're going to look through all 12 fights where I actually do have two underdogs winning in Dricus Du Plessis as well as Casey O'Neill on the prelims. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be my underdog of the card. The meaning behind that sentence and that phrase is who is going to be the most valuable underdog bet. Do I think they're going to win? Maybe yes, maybe no. But are they a good bet to make where, I mean, they should not be an underdog. They shouldn't be that big of an underdog. Or maybe the fight should be a lot closer than it is on the betting odds right there. So we're going to start at the bottom with Stewart, Nicoll, Jesus Aguilar, make our way to the main event and kind of look through all of the dogs of UFC 305 and find which one is best. But of course, if you do want to see all the bets we are making for this very good UFC fight card, it's not that good in my opinion, but if you do want to see all the bets I'm making for this card, pin link down in the comment section or the top link in the description. But let's get started with fight number 1. Stewart, Nicoll taking on Jesus Aguilar. I would say this is not a fight you want to be betting the favorite, as 100% you lost kind of all sense of value on Jesus Aguilar. Stewart Nicoll actually started at a plus 135 dog. He was the underdog. When the fight started out, I immediately was like, I gotta go bet on Stewart Nicoll. Then boom, money came in and I saw him at minus 140. I was like, it's probably gonna stay like that till fight night, right? Wrong. All the money came in on Stewart Nicoll, and now he's at minus 230. So I missed out on my chance to bet on Stewart Nicoll. I believe you guys did as well. This is definitely an underdog pass type of a fight, as I think it's a lot closer than the odds do have it at. Would I say it's the best underdog of the card in Jesus Aguilar? No, I wouldn't. I think there's better underdogs than Jesus. But is he still a good underdog? I would definitely say so. Ricky Glenn taking on Kenan Song right there. Second fight of the night, up a weight class for Ricky Glenn in the welterweight division. I do have Kenan Song winning. I do have him winning, but you are losing some value on the Ricky Glenn side. This is kind of the opposite of the Jesus Aguilar Stewart Nicoll fight, where yes, Jesus got better plus money as the days and weeks went on, whereas Ricky Glenn, you know, he started at plus 210 and he was like that for a full few days. Was at plus 190 for about, how long was that? A full 10 days he was at plus 190, and now all the money's coming in on Ricky Glenn. You kind of lost all sense of value if you're trying to make an underdog bet on Ricky Glenn. So he might have been a decent one when he was at that plus 200 mark, but as of now, Ricky Glenn really isn't that good of a dog. Alex Reyes, Tom Nolan, I'm going to say it right now, I'll say it again in the future. I mean, do not freaking parlay Tom Nolan. I swear to God, even if you go out there and put a Tom Nolan by knockout prop, I bet that's even minus money. Minus 400 for Tom Nolan by knockout. That's insane. That is insane. Minus 1,500, minus 1,100. I mean, minus 2,000 right here on Tom Nolan to get the win. Come on, guys. Dog or pass? I would say pass. Just don't bet on the fight, period. But yeah, Alex Reyes is a decent underdog. Please do not catch me going down in the comment section and seeing someone say, yeah, I parlayed Tom Nolan. I parlayed Josh Culibao and Jingliang Lee. I don't know. Don't let me find out that any of you guys are parlaying Tom Nolan at these ridiculous odds. Please, so help me God. Don't do it. So yeah, underdog or pass, don't be betting on Tom Nolan here. Come on. There is zero value in that bet. Then we do have Jack Jenkins and Herbert Burns. I'm going to be honest. Jack Jenkins is the second biggest favorite of the card, but I think his betting odds kind of make sense. I feel very good on Jack Jenkins. I feel better on Alex Reyes getting an upset than I do on Herbert Burns going out there and pulling an upset. That's just my personal take on that. So no, Herbert Burns is not going to be my underdog of the card for the simple fact that, well, Alex Reyes is better plus money, and I'm more confident in him to go out there and get the win than I am in Herbert Burns. I feel very, very good on Jack Jenkins going out there and getting the win. Luana, Santos, Casey O'Neill. I do have, again, like I said at the beginning of this video, one of my underdog predictions is Casey O'Neill to win at plus money. You could get, if you're on Caesars, I mean, I've never used that sports book. They have Casey O'Neill at plus 135 at the moment. Most betting odds sites had Casey O'Neill around that, plus 150, plus 140, plus 130 range for quite a bit, but money is coming in on the dog. Since August 12th, what's today? August 15th, the past 3 days, it's kind of went from plus 153 all the way down to most bookies having it at around plus 115. So you have lost a lot of the value that there was earlier on in the week on Casey O'Neill. And I'll be honest, I might have actually had Casey O'Neill as my underdog of the card if we could still get plus 150. If we could still get plus 150, plus 140, probably have Casey O'Neill as my dog of the card, to be quite honest with you. As of right now, she's still a great underdog in my opinion. I'd have her at, I'd have to say top 3 best underdogs of this card. Still plus money. You can still get her plus 128, plus 135 if you're on these bookies. I'm not personally, but if you're on those ones, great odds there in my opinion. But yeah, if she was plus 150, she'd probably be dog of the card. Ricardo Ramos, again, similar odds to Casey O'Neill, so you could already kind of infer if Casey O'Neill's not my dog of the card, and I'm predicting her to win, and I'm predicting Ricardo to lose as the dog. Obviously, Ricardo Ramos is not going to be my underdog of the card. I think value-wise, there's actually a little bit of value on Ricardo Ramos. I personally have Josh Culibao as one of my least confident picks of the entire card. I think stylistically, it's not a great fight for Ricardo Ramos, but I still think Joshua can pour on the pressure and volume and barely edge it out on the scorecards. I still think even now, you're still getting minus 135 on Joshua Culibao. You're still getting better and better odds every single day. Still wouldn't bet him. I still would. If I was forced to bet on this fight, I'd still probably put some money on Ricardo Ramos. So another good underdog. There's a lot of good underdogs on this card, to be honest with you. And Ricardo is definitely a fight that's... You don't bet on the favorite if you're going to bet at all. Bet on Ricardo probably by decision, because is he going to go out there and finish Culibao? I freaking highly doubt it. And then Ricardo by decision is plus 350. So, yeah, I mean, that could be an underdog bet, I guess. But, yeah, I think don't bet on Joshua. Do not bet on Joshua. Junior Tafa, Valter Walker. This is another one. Earlier on in the week, I had Justin Tafa, or sorry, not Justin. They're freaking brothers in the UFC. But I had Junior Tafa winning, and he was at that plus 100 range when I was predicting him to win. He keeps bumping up to plus 100 on BetOnline for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, just random money coming in on a Valter Walker, but now he's sitting pretty comfortable as a slight favorite on every single bookie. But of course, he would have been a decent dog, a value dog at plus 100 there. I mean, not a huge valuable bet. There's others that would definitely be better, especially when this one is really, really low level heavyweight MMA. So you could have got plus 135. That would have been freaking amazing. But yeah, as of now, minus 130 on Junior Tafa. Horrible. Wouldn't bet Junior Tafa or Valter Walker in I wouldn't bet either way. Like, this is a pass for me. I'm not doing anything with this fight. Then we go into the main card. I'm going to start it with the main event. Dricus du Plessis, Israel Adesanya. Minus 110, minus 110. So there really is no underdog in this fight as of right now in terms of a few of these betting odds sites, but there are a few that still have Israel Adesanya as the favorite, and the best odds you're going to get the dog. I mean, it's technically not the dog on some of the bookies, but on the ones that do have him as the dog, du Plessis at plus 100. I will say, now, he's not my underdog of the card. I was fully prepared a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago to have Dricus du Plessis as my underdog of the card. Fully prepared to do so. When he was at plus 130, he was at plus 110, plus 120 for a long time. Shot up to plus 140 right here about a week ago. I don't know why. More money is coming on du Plessis. Maybe they saw my prediction video and I predicted du Plessis. And now everybody's betting du Plessis. But now the odds aren't there. Minus 110, even plus 100. I mean, there's better dogs, in my opinion, than that. So, yeah, earlier on in the week, du Plessis, perfect dog. Perfect dog. I would have 100% had him as my dog of the card, but now, nah, not anymore. Kai Kara France, Erceg. If you saw my confident picks video, of course, go check it out. Look up UFC confident picks. UFC 305 confident picks, Burt MMA. You'll find the video. Steve Erceg was sort of on the upper echelon of my confident picks there. So yeah, no. Kai Kara friends, you're not my underdog of the card. It's just as simple as that. I feel pretty good about Steve Erceg going out there and getting the win. We're going to go Tuivasa, Jairzinho, Rozenstruik. Feel great about Jairzinho. Can never feel too great about Jairzinho. It's a heavyweight fight. Jairzinho has been knocked out before. Ty has KO power, so would I be confident parlaying Jairzinho? No, I would not. I mean, it's a heavyweight and it's Ty Tuivasa. You can never be predictable about that type of thing. But no, Ty's not going to be my dog of the card. So that leaves me with two. One of these two fights is going to be my dog of the card. And they are both in my top three. Again, Casey O'Neill's in my top three. And these two fights right here are also going to be in my top three for best underdog of the card. Dan Hooker or Jingliang Li. Which one's it going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Jingliang Li as a plus almost 300 underdog against Carlos Prates, the big new thing in the UFC welterweight division, or is it going to be Dan the Hangman Hooker? I'm going to have to go with Dan the Hangman Hooker, my underdog of the card. I'm so glad that we're getting better plus money, because there was a moment there where money was just pouring in on Dan Hooker, and you actually got Mateusz Gamrot at minus 200, and Dan Hooker was only at plus 180. Plus 180, and now money's rolling in. Everyone's parlaying Gamrot. Everyone's getting confident in Gamrot to go out there and get the win, and now you're getting plus 280 on Dan Hooker. That is crazy, crazy value, considering that Dan Hooker started as like a 2-to-1 dog, and now he's like a 3, almost 4-to-1 dog on some of these bookies. So I definitely have Gamrot as my number one underdog of the card. Do I think he wins? No, I am leaning Gamrot to go out there and edge it out on a 29-28 decision. But in terms of value, this is a great, great underdog pick, Dan the Hangman Hooker. And of course, Jingliang Li, I also believe is a great dog. Do not be parlaying Carlos Prates. Please, for the love of God, plus 295, crazy, crazy value. On Jingliang Li, that kind of be my order there. Dan Hooker, I'd go then Casey O'Neill as my number 2. Jingliang Li as my number 3, and then probably Dricus du Plessis as my number 4. Those are probably the best underdogs of UFC 305. Some good spots to be made here. I don't think there's a lot of fights that you should probably be betting on the favorites here, to be honest with you. But yeah, some good underdogs. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like and subscribe, do all that cool stuff. And check out that pinned comment down below or the link in the description for all of my bets for UFC 305. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.